Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Doc.
I'm wondering if we need some soft love music for you this morning. Help calm
I don't know
this.
if it'll make much of a difference now, but I like the rock you play instead.
Let's recap the weekend, specifically Sunday, taking on Stockton at the Budweiser Event Center matinee game, and the first period, a lot of scoring there. 5 goals in the first period alone. And then we saw the highlights, and there's our good friend, and one of the most kind, I said this yesterday, Coach, one of the most kind, gentle souls you will ever meet. And yet there is debris being thrown from the bench from head coach Chris Stewart.
There was. I had a bit of garage sale there, and I thought it was necessary to get all the obstacles on the bench, off the bench, and out onto the ice, and let the good zebras pick them up for me.
I think if there was a kitchen sink back there, you would have probably thrown that out there, too. All right, what led to the incident there?
Well, they're just simply bad communication. And to be quite honest with you, by the end of the game, I had a chance to sit down with my grandchildren, my 2 2-year-olds, they're twins, and they said to me, both of them looked me in the eye and said, "Poppy, were you thirsty?" They wanted to know why I kept throwing those water bottles on the ice. They thought I was thirsty. I said, "No, fellas, Poppy, you pulled a bad one. I got mad. I shouldn't have done that." So we just had some bad communication, and one thing led to another. And, for all those guys that can hold their tempers, and that's a great. But for those of us that sometimes got to give them a kick in the twins just to straighten them out, that's what I was doing, letting them know that, hey, you're not getting away with this tonight, guys.
It's not a side of you we see very often at all. And the crowd got a little fired up for it, and I have no doubt, if you can speak as a coach, what does that do to the players on the bench?
Well, you know what? I think it does get the players understanding the passion of this game doesn't fall short of the coach ever, and I do try to maintain a level head so I can think straight while the game is going on. But that passion comes in, and I really think if you don't have that passion, you're never going to do well as a player, you're never going to do well as a coach, and you're probably never going to do well in sports in general. So, I mean, certainly I would take it back if I could in a sense, because I never like to show that side, but that passion is me. It truly is.
Well, we're all thankful you kept your shirt on. We've seen highlights.
My goodness, Doc, that's the last thing you want to see. I mean, my muscles are smaller than the lumps in my wife's gravy, I swear. So,
speaking
you
of
don't want to
which,
see my shirt off.
Did she give you a lecture when you got home, or just a look?
No, actually, the warden, she generally gets pretty excited about that stuff. She thinks it's pretty funny when I lose my cool because, like you said, I don't do it often.
No, you don't. All right, let's take a look at the team right now. Anybody looking at the schedule and the results of that schedule might see one thing, but you're right there in the middle of it all as coach. Where is the team right now in your mind?
We're at 500. If anything, right now, we have slipped a notch. We're not playing up to par. We have dropped a notch as far as our overall abilities, our skills, our timing, and everything else. We've just kind of taken a step backwards, and this isn't the first time I've seen this with a hockey team. This is something that generally does happen after Christmas. You're going to get into that lull because it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and the guys want to start to play for real sometimes now, and they miss the fact that these games all mean a lot. They mean a whole bunch when it comes to positioning in the playoffs, and that's critical to success in the playoffs. You need good positioning. You need to get home ice advantage. So that's what you're fighting for. That's what you're battling for. Right now, we've taken a step back, but I can assure you this team is ready and focused, and they're ready to start making a run for the finish line here now. And, we're looking for first place. It's not going to be an easy one, but it is certainly obtainable. And
you picked up a new player, a defensive man from Florida, Braden Birch. Tell us about him.
Well, he's a birch, and he is a tree. This guy's a big boy. He's 6'5", and he's 240 pounds, and he packs a bit of a wallop, and I think that's something that we need in front of the net. We need a big, strong man to move those guys out in front of the net so our goalies can have better sight lines. Sometimes our sight lines are obscured because we're not moving those guys in front of the net. So add another big guy back there to create a little bit more room, make it a little easier for the goalies to stop the puck. That's what we're aiming for here.
All right, we got Ontario next week. Before then, Bakersfield coming up this Friday, 7:40 start, 8 o'clock the puck will drop. And before I let you go, and you speak about passion, and you certainly are about the sport, but you and the organization are equally passionate about the community. And coming up, you've got your third Pot of Gold community fundraiser coming up. Explain to us what that's all about.
Well, this is a one-time during the year that we take an individual and we raise money for an individual, and we kind of stayed away from that in the early existence of the Colorado Eagles, simply because we didn't want to look like we were playing favorites to either one city or one gender or whatever it might be. So we stayed away from that, but then we thought, you know what, there are people out there that genuinely need a helping hand that is outstanding. That's really not a normal situation. And we've got a young man this year that has had a cyst on his brain since he was born. And the timing of this cyst now that he's 10 years old is this summer. If it is not removed, he's going to have some serious problems. So we need to find a way to get this done. And the bill right now is at $200,000.
Oh.
We plan on bringing in at least $30,000 at the pot of gold game, and we're going to find a way to young gentleman is taken care of, because that's just a sad thing. He was born with a bit of a glitch and a terrible, terrible thing that we want to try to help him with. So this time that we do this all year long, we think we've got a great candidate again this year. It's the third season that we've done this, and we're going to take care of this young man.
That's awesome, Coach. And I have no doubt the results are going to be huge for you as an organization and the Eagles fans as well. And they've got the story about this very thing on their website at coloradoeagles.com. So I invite you to stop by and check that out. Head coach, general manager Chris Stewart of the Colorado Eagles. Go ice up that rotator cuff before you hit the road on Friday. But it's always a pleasure to have you on.
Thanks so much, Doc. Always good to talk to you.